You asked for it, so here it is. Part 2 of our most expensive attack helicopters countdown. Last time we covered legends like the Apache, the Tiger, and the ill-fated Comanche. This time we're digging into 10 more machines that never made the first cut, from battle-proven Cold War workhorses still flying in war zones today, to brand new prototypes that got canceled before they ever saw a real cockpit. If this kind of list is your thing, subscribe now because there's a new one dropping almost every week. Let's get into it, starting at number 10.
Mi-24/Mi-35 Hind, Russia. Estimated $12 million. The Mi-24 Hind is one of the most recognizable helicopters ever built, nicknamed the Flying Tank for its armored hull and its unusual ability to actually carry troops into battle alongside its own weapons. Despite being a Cold War design, it's still in active combat use in multiple conflicts today, and decades of mass production across dozens of countries have actually kept its price relatively low compared to newer designs, even as upgrade packages slowly push individual units higher. CAIC Z-19, estimated $15 million. The Z-19 is China's armed reconnaissance helicopter, built on the airframe of the Harbin Z-9, but reworked with a tandem two-seat cockpit and a narrower nose section for genuine attack duties. Its price stays comparatively modest because it leans on an existing civilian helicopter design rather than an entirely new one, though the sensor turret and anti-tank missile integration still add a real premium over the transport variant it was based on.
CAIC Z10/WZ10, China. Estimated $18 million. China's first purpose-built modern attack helicopter, the Z-10 was developed largely in secret and only confirmed to exist once prototypes were already flying. Its price reflects the cost of building an entirely new attack helicopter industry from the ground up, including domestically developed engines and targeting systems, though it still lands well below Western equivalents thanks to lower labor and production costs at home. Bell AH-1 Super Cobra, USA. Estimated $20 million. The AH-1 Super Cobra was the U.S. Marine Corps' primary attack helicopter for decades before the Viper replaced it, built around twin engines and a narrow profile that made it a smaller target on the battlefield. Its price climbed over its service life, mainly through repeated avionics and weapons upgrades, meant to keep a fundamentally 1980s airframe relevant well into the 2000s, proving that keeping an old design competitive can cost almost as much as building a new one.
Sikorsky S-70I Battlehawk, USA export. Estimated $25 million. The Battlehawk is essentially a Black Hawk transformed into a dedicated gunship, fitted with a nose-mounted cannon, stub wings for rockets and missiles, and a modern glass cockpit. Its price sits above a standard utility Black Hawk because of that added weapons architecture, but it's still built around a proven, mass-produced airframe, which keeps costs from spiraling anywhere near a purpose-built attack helicopter.
Mi-35M Hind-E, Russia. Estimated $28 million. A deep modernization of the original Hind, the Mi-35M keeps the classic troop-carrying attack helicopter concept, but swaps in a modern glass cockpit, thermal imaging, and precision-guided weapons. Its price reflects the cost of retrofitting a genuinely new avionics suite and weapons system onto an airframe originally designed decades ago, and export orders often push the final number even higher once training and spare parts packages get bundled in.
HAL Prachand LCH, India. Estimated $45 million. India's first fully indigenous attack helicopter, the Prachand, was purpose-built to fight at extreme high altitudes in the Himalayas, where thinner air causes most other helicopters to lose lift and power. Its price is driven largely by that specialized high-altitude engineering, along with the cost of building out an entirely new domestic supply chain, since developing the country's first attack helicopter from scratch, rather than buying or licensing an existing design, rarely comes cheap in the early years of production.
Leonardo AW159 Wildcat HUR, United Kingdom. Estimated $50 million. Officially an armed reconnaissance helicopter rather than a pure gunship, the Wildcat still carries enough sensors, missiles, and a modern glass cockpit to earn a place on this list, and its price is a textbook example of what happens when a country only orders a small production run. With just a few dozen airframes ever built for the British Army and Navy, the entire development cost had far fewer aircraft to spread across, driving the per-unit price up dramatically compared to helicopters built by the hundreds elsewhere. Sikorsky S-97 Raider, USA, estimated $50 million plus per prototype. Built as a compound helicopter with a rigid coaxial rotor and a rear pusher propeller for extra speed, the S-97 Raider was Sikorsky's entry into the U.S. Army's competition for a new Scout attack helicopter. Only a handful of prototypes were ever built before the program shifted direction, meaning the enormous research and development cost behind that radical rotor system had almost no production run at all to help absorb it, leaving each flying example carrying a price tag that a mass-produced helicopter would never come close to. Bell 360 Invictus, estimated $100 million per prototype. Taking the top spot is the Bell 360 Invictus, built as Bell's competitor in the same U.S. Army program that produced the S-97 Raider, designed around a single main rotor with a shrouded tailfan for extra speed and a low radar signature. The entire Future Attack Reconnaissance Aircraft program behind it was canceled by the Army in 2024 after years of development, meaning the billions of dollars poured into the competition were absorbed by only a single flying prototype that will likely never enter production. Much like the Comanche before it, the Invictus stands as a reminder that even the most advanced attack helicopter concept can become the most expensive one in history simply by never making it to a real squadron.
That's part 2 done. From battle-tested Cold War veterans to prototypes that never got their chance, this list proves the most expensive helicopter isn't always the most battle-proven one. Sometimes it's just the one that never got to prove itself at all. Let me know in the comments which helicopter you want to see in part 3. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.